Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to introduce some of my incense collection. Recently fragrance collections have become very popular on YouTube, and I thought it might be interesting to do something a little bit different based on incense. Incense and other aromatics have been used for probably thousands of years in Asia, and very early on Buddhists began using incense as an offering and as an important part of traditional ceremonies. And uh, at the same time, other people began to just appreciate the sense of incense just for enjoyment. In my own case, I started getting interested in meditation. So I went to the incense shop and asked what kind of incense they had for, say, less than $10. And the one they recommended to me was this one called Myojo by Daihatsu, which is not really a traditional incense. It has kind of a vanilla base on top of the incense, basic incense aroma. So it was very pleasant, and I ended up using the whole box as I learned how to meditate. Then I found out about a company called Shoyeido, which is a very traditional Kyoto incense company that's been in business for hundreds of years. And I selected this one called Kinkaku, which is named after Kinkakuji, a famous temple in Kyoto. Although it's not really a temple type of incense, it has a cinnamon and amber notes to it. Also give it a kind of modern and airy touch. One place that you can find incense in Japan is at temples. I went to Sensoji, which is a famous temple of Kuan Yin in Tokyo. The mountain name of the temple is Kinryuzan, which means the mountain of the golden dragon. All temples have a mountain name, and temples are considered to be a mountain even if it's in the middle of a city. So using Kinryuzan, the mountain name of the temple offers for sale this one called Kinryu Ko. So this is the golden dragon incense. This has a little bit more of a traditional Buddhist feel to it. Heavy on the sandalwood, maybe other woods, maybe a little bit of agarwood in there. Agarwood is quite expensive, so you can't expect too much to be in there unless you're paying lots of money. But this is also a very nice incense for meditation. At another temple in Tokyo called Sengakuji, which is a famous temple because it was the site of an incident when 47 loyal samurai committed suicide en masse to honor the memory of their late master, who had been forced to commit suicide because of a question of etiquette at the palace. He was also on somebody's hit list, so he was forced to commit suicide. And the 47 loyal retainers pretended to forget about him, and they were playing around in the play zones of Tokyo and Kyoto until the moment when they found that their enemy's guard was down, and they attacked his mansion and killed him. And because this act of revenge was illegal, they committed suicide. The temple where this took place, as I mentioned, is Sengakuji. When I went there, I found this incense. These smaller kanji here say, souvenir of worship visit to Sengakuji. And the name of the temple, the name of the incense is Jinko, which means agarwood, which is the very most expensive, maybe one of the most expensive incense ingredients there is. But this box was selling for $5, so I asked the man in the shop why it's so cheap, and he said, well, there's only a little tiny bit of agarwood in there. but it is very nice incense. Also in Tokyo, I visited Shimizu Dera, which is a branch of the famous Shimizu Dera in Kyoto. And there I bought this one, which is called Shimizu-ko. And this is also kind of a standard sandalwood based, and maybe a little bit of agarwood in there. The oldest wooden building in Tokyo dates from the Muromachi period, which means it could be 400, 500, 600 years old. And that temple is called Enyuji, and I was given as a gift this incense, which is called Enyu. So I don't think this is for sale. It might be for sale at the temple. But this is also a very nice Buddhist-oriented incense. There is a temple called Koyasan, which actually is a mountain. It's the headquarters of Shingon Vajrayana Buddhism in Japan. And when I went there, I found this incense. The temple is called Koyasan, and these first two kanji are Koya. And Rei means spiritual. Koyasan is considered to be a spiritual dojo or spiritual training ground. In the same way you have a karate dojo, Koyasan is a dojo for spiritual arts. And then it says Koyasan Lei Ko, so the spiritual incense of Koyasan. This is not available in Tokyo as far as I know. Of course you can get it if you go to Koyasan, and I think they do have online sales, but you have to be able to do business in Japanese, I think. I don't know what would happen if you used an online translator for that. Then the last example of temple incense I'm going to show you is this one, which is called Fudoko. So Fudo Myo, who is the unmoving god of light. He's unmoving because even terrible karma won't stop him. And there are many Vajrayana temples devoted to him all over Japan. So I went to one called Takahata Fudo, which is in the western suburbs of Tokyo, and I found this one also at a very reasonable price. And this is leading into higher end, because this is not a high-end incense, but it's packed in a box that seems to be made out of natural wood. It's not really natural wood. It's kind of a decal on a cardboard box. But when you get into the higher end incense, many of them are packed in a natural, unfinished wood box, which helps protect the incense. So in my next video, I'll be talking about some of the more high-end and maybe some of the more unusual incenses in my collection. So stick around for more, and thanks a lot for watching. See you later.